Hey Pretty Girl Club. So I haven't done one of these videos in a while, kind of like a behind the scenes video of what I've learned since being a content creator and what it feels like to have reached 30,000 subscribers. So the other day I woke up and I almost cried, like tears of happiness. And that was because my channel reached 30K subscribers, and I also saw Pretty In Between's video where she hit 10,000 subscribers and she showed herself. Also, I just want to take a moment to talk about how Pretty In Between is. Like, look how pretty the Exoticals are. When I first saw Pretty In Between's profile photo, the first person she actually reminded me of was Halle Berry. That's just my opinion. But I can see why people are so jealous of the Exotical space. It's because even behind all of these faceless YouTube channels, whether they try to dox us, whether we show ourselves, you have a bunch of very pretty women. Anyway, back to the video. And then she was like doing her hair and just kind of like embracing her femininity, showing her beauty, kind of celebrating her beauty. That made me so happy. Like, I literally almost cried watching that video. And I just want to say, like, I'm so proud of all of us for having the strength and the courage to tell our stories. When I first started this channel, I had no idea that this many people would resonate with what I was saying. And I had no idea that other women would start their own channels and then see their own successes and then do their own thing or branch off or start their own Patreons and members page. So I just want to say, lately I've just been so overwhelmed with you guys supporting the Exotical space. A lot of you guys are joining the Patreon. A lot of you guys are getting my Dark Femininity course. And the biggest lesson that I've learned since starting a YouTube channel is to just keep on creating and just keep on believing in yourself. And I'm glad that I never allowed anyone to bully me off YouTube. Like, when I first started this YouTube channel, back when I had maybe 3,000 subscribers, I actually remember somebody telling me, you should just invest more time in your YouTube channel and then you could become a full-time YouTuber. I remember laughing at that because I thought that there was no way that this many people would even resonate with the Exotical message. I really thought that that many people don't even exist who have had the same experiences. And so a lot of people, they watch the Exotical channels and they feel like it's validating for them. But for me as the creator, when I first came on YouTube, there were no videos for me to watch. I was the one creating the videos. I was the one that was trying to keep up with everything going on, trying to keep up with the screenshots and stuff. So seeing other women making their own Exotical channels, or even if it's not an Exotical channel, just making their own channels talking about their experience as a light-skinned black woman, or their experience as a dark-skinned mixed woman, or someone who benefits from texturism, it has been so validating to be the one that gets to watch the content as well, instead of me just always being the one making the content. And something that a lot of people don't realize is that whenever you come online and you start making waves and you have really good talking points, you're going to face a lot of bullying. Like, I have faced a lot of, threats of being unalived. Actually, that was way back when I first started my channel. I used to receive emails of people saying they were going to unalive me, or people saying that they were going to try to track me somehow or follow me, or that they're going to show up at my doorstep. So I have received so many threats of being unalived. I've received so many hate emails, so many hate comments. I mean, every single day I wake up and block people. I mean, still to this day, every day I wake up and block people. But that just shows how powerful our talking points truly are, because if people are that emotionally dysregulated by a YouTube video, that's actually proof that you are starting a movement. So I had no idea when I first started this channel that this whole space would ever become its own movement. And I've seen some people saying oh, some of the Exoticals, they're not making content anymore. I mean, that doesn't bother me because I never expected other people to make content anyway. I never expected anybody else to even be able to relate to what I was saying. I used to think that I was just crazy, or that it must have been just me making everything up in my head, nobody else could relate. Because that's one of the talking points that the Black community tries to give us. They try to tell us that we're just crazy, it's all in our heads, no one's jealous of you, nobody cares about you benefiting from an ism, nobody cares about you being mixed. So I had been told things like that, particularly by the Black community. And so at first I was thinking, hey, I'll be lucky if I get 500 subscribers. I remember thinking that. I remember thinking I'll be lucky if I get 500 subscribers. I definitely did not think that I would be monetized. And when I did get monetized, I was making $30 a month. And I remember being excited, like, oh my God, $30 a month. Like, hopefully one day I can pay my phone bill with my YouTube channel. But going from that to like 3 or 4 years later, just seeing the growth. And by the way, I totally effed off on my channel for the first like 3 years. I think it was for the first 2 or 3 years. I totally effed off on my channel. I did not post consistently. I was only posting like maybe once a month, sometimes once every 2 months, because I genuinely thought nobody cared. I was like, nobody cares about this type of content anyway. So I started this channel as a form of creative expression. And just, I was like, I just want to get my lick back against the people that were making fun of me back when I used to show my face on my Gmail account and calling me Exotical, which I thought was the dumbest name ever. But a lot of people think that being a content creator is draining. And the only thing that's draining about it is if you have an external locus of control and if you're depending on everybody to agree with you, then that would make it draining. The only thing that's draining is you stepping outside of your comfort zone or overcoming the fear of being seen. So a lot of people say that the exotical space has been very validating for them and it's been like therapy for them. This YouTube channel has been like therapy for me. This YouTube channel is like therapy for creators. I actually feel validated when I see people commenting. Did you know that's actually what kept me going on YouTube? It wasn't the views. It wasn't the possibility of money. What kept me creating content was seeing people leave comments. And what actually inspired me was when I first started this channel, you guys would leave like a paragraph long comment telling an entire story time that sounded similar to what I was talking about. And it's funny because all of our stories are so similar to the point where people actually think that I'm lying and creating stories or that I'm like putting other people's stories in with mine. That is how similar all of our experiences are. And so with this channel, the biggest thing I learned is that there are more things that we have in common. There are more things that unite us versus things that divide us. For example, what unites us is our blackness. What unites us is being pedestalized or fetishized by men, whether it's black or white men. Another thing that unites us is the envy that we have experienced from women in general. Something else that unites all of us is having been accused of benefiting from an ism, whether it's colorism, texturism, featureism, or multiple isms. Something else that unites all of us is having been othered from the black community. So maybe being told things like, you're not like other blacks, or you can't relate, or you don't understand what I'm going through. And I've learned that people can argue about your phenotype. They can argue your skin tone. I mean, nobody will ever have a consensus on what they deem an exotical to be. And so that's why it's important for us to take back our own power and to stop allowing other people to have control over our self-perception. But it's like you can argue with our phenotypes, but you cannot argue with consistency. You can't argue with all of us telling all of these stories. I mean, we have told tons of stories on this YouTube channel at this point. We have tens of thousands of people listening to us at this point. So it's like you can't argue with that. You can't argue with the existence of the platform. Another thing that I learned since being a content creator is that people will try to use divide and conquer tactics to make you feel isolated. So for example, if you're a multiracial, non-white passing person, they'll try to compare you to someone white passing so that you feel less valid. If you're a light-skinned person, they will try to compare you to someone lighter than you. If you're a dark-skinned person, they'll say you don't fit in because you're too dark. You're just a token in the exotical space. Nobody wants you. If you have type 4 hair, they'll try to say, oh, your hair is nappy. So another thing that this channel has taught me is that they use the same tactics all the time. All those tactics that they've been using on us for decades, they no longer work because now all of us can come together and compare notes and be like, oh, wait, they told you that you weren't light-skinned enough? They told me that I wasn't light-skinned enough. I'm a sandy beige color, and even I'm not light-skinned enough. Oh, they told you that you weren't mixed enough? They said that you were too black? That's what they say about me. So it's really validating to see that all of us have exposed their talking points to divide us. And that's really because they don't want us to know that we have privilege. They don't want us to use our privilege. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for 30,000 subscribers. I am so excited about the future of this YouTube channel. And if there are any other videos that you guys want me to create, be sure to email me at exoticalsunited@gmail.com. If you have specific questions that you want answered, like something that pertains to your personal life, be sure to join the Patreon because that's where I make all the custom content. But what do you ladies think? How has your life changed since the existence of the exotical space? Do you feel more confident now? Do you feel more comfortable in your skin? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.